And just so everybody knows, I do have a recording. Hopefully I can send that out Monday of, we went over pre-approvals, which was travel request and pcard pre-approvals. I will send that out as well. So there's plenty of guided videos and help topics.
Thank you.
So as you guys can see here, to access Chrome River, you go to my.nmhu.edu, also known as MyPortal. So it's accessed by your single sign-on, so you don't have to remember another password. So it's just my.nmhu.edu. You log in with your single sign-on, and it is down here towards the middle, Chrome River, the little CR, okay? The other thing, if you guys are near your phones or have those handy, you can download a Chrome River app that's in the Android and Apple Store. You can also download what's called CR Snap. And that's actually a tool that you can use to take pictures of your receipts and upload them to your profile, okay? So those are the different ways that you can access Chrome River, through MyPortal, through the Chrome River app, and through CR Snap to upload documents and receipts. So when you click on Chrome River, it's gonna go ahead and log you in. If you do have any issues logging in, go ahead and send an email to either ITS or to purchasing@nmhu.edu, or to myself. Let us know you're having issues and we can get that resolved. Our IT team moves pretty quickly when it comes to those issues, so just let us know. So when you click on Chrome River, this is the landing page that you'll arrive at. The way it's set up is on the left screen, or facing the left screen, will be your dashboard. So these are all expenses that have been submitted as the end user, okay? So in mine, for example, I have 2 submitted expenses, 3 submitted pre-approvals, and 7 submitted invoices, which are check requests. So that's your dashboard here. On the right-hand side is really the help side, I guess. So it gives you a lot of info pertinent and related to Chrome River. What I did here was I just created a little, kind of a little.
Hello? Hey.
Okay. If everyone can mute, that'd be awesome. So I created a visual here, just showing what each module is used for. So expenses are for pcard reconciliation. Again, that's the university credit cards and travel vouchers. Your pre-approval is to request approval for pcard expenses that are related to policy and travel requests. So your travel request was the old travel estimation forms that you guys would fill out or have a designee fill out for you. That's done through the pre-approval module now.
Adam.
Yes.
For the faculty, are we going to be doing this, or will our administrative assistants be doing this?
Great question. So I'll show you guys actually I'll show you all how to assign a delegate. That can actually be done through your profile, or you can send us a simple request saying, hey, Dr. Gadsden, I'd like, admin Bustos to be my delegate. So I'll show you that today, and I'm actually going to try to upload a little bit more help sections to show you guys with step-by-step instructions. So this is really the landing page. Here it has contact information for purchasing, contact information for accounts payable. There's another section, it's called feature highlight. This is actually a really cool feature. If you see it here, and the spacing's a little off, but it's receipt@ca1.chromeriver.com. As you receive receipts to your email, you can actually forward them on to that email, and it'll load to your profile, which is really nice. As you start traveling or as you start doing stuff, you get it, you see the confirmation email, you forward it to receipt@ca1.chromeriver.com, and it loads to your profile. If you have CR Snap, which is the application, you can simply take a picture of it and upload it. So we're really trying to work with a user-friendly interface and just a lot of accessible features. Going down, we did load our policies. I know it's always hard to navigate just the different sites. Instead of going to nmhu.edu/purchasing department and then looking around, you can actually just click on the policies related to travel and to our pcard, okay? Earlier I had said there's pcard pre-approvals. Within that pcard policy, there's different approvals you need before you can use the purchase card. So if one of your admins does not have access to a purchase card, now may be a good time to say, hey, you know what, check with Adam to see if that's something that we can utilize. Purchase card's really nice because it's goods and services less than $2,500. So that's a lot of just your general and administrative expenses that we can kind of knock out with the purchase card. So definitely, if you guys are interested, please reach out or let your admin know as well, and they can reach out and we can get you all set up. So there's quick links to the policy. Also, our full manual is there as well. So just hopefully that helps with a little bit more, a little bit better guide to the different policies associated. In the help area, I'm going to try to load some more in here, but there's actually how-tos on how to do on different things. So, you know, I know it's a lot to take in, but saying, okay, well, I need to do an expense for, you know, something. You can actually click on the how-to video. And what's really nice about it, it's a really robust help section, but it'll actually bring up a video for you. And then there's actually step-by-step instructions. It is more generic, so it doesn't say like New Mexico Highlands on it, but it really gives you a rough overview of how to do stuff. That being said, I'm trying to get at least one session a week of training in. That way, if people have actual examples or questions, we're available. I will keep doing that until I'm tired of it. No, but I will be doing it for probably the next couple of months, just until everybody's really familiar and used to using the application. Okay. That's the main dashboard. Really, especially for faculty, I wanted to just go through today, and especially because this is being recorded, it's a nice guide for everybody. But one of the things I wanted to show you all how to do is assign a delegate. Okay, there's two reasons you would assign a delegate. One, if you needed somebody to act on your behalf to submit a pre-approval, whether that's for a pcard or for a travel request, and to expense it. So whether that's a pcard expense or just reimbursement after you've returned from travel and have need to collect your per diem or reimbursables per the policy. So to assign a delegate, you simply click on your name. And there's a little menu system. I always tell people, don't worry about doing stuff in the system. You're not going to break it. You're not going to accidentally, press a button and expense, $1 million to McDonald's. So, don't feel bad about clicking and really exploring the application. So here, if you go to settings, there's different settings that you can add here. And really, we haven't gotten into probably all the things that Chrome River can do, but the basic one I wanted to draw your attention to was the delegate settings. So if you go down to delegate settings, on mine, I actually have Jennifer assigned as a delegate on mine. So Jennifer can log in to Chrome River, click on click on her name. My name would show up underneath her name. She simply clicks on my name, and then she would be able to go in and do a travel on my behalf. One of the things we've seen is people will do a travel under their name and say, under Adam's name, saying travel for Dr. Gadsden. Well, no, you actually need to click into the person's profile to create that travel. So it's actually pretty easy. You go to delegate settings, add new delegate, and here you would just type in a name. We have preloaded names and titles and banner IDs. So I would go in and say, okay, I actually want Jennifer to act on my behalf to create and submit expenses. You can add multiple delegates if you need. That's totally fine. The other thing that's really good about it is you can assign a vacation delegate. So let's say, I'm going to go ahead and take vacation for a week. During that time, I don't want to be bothered. So I'm going to go ahead and assign a delegate. What happens there is it actually gives somebody access to your account to approve on your behalf as well. When you assign a delegate up here, it's actually just to have somebody submit and create on your behalf. When you assign a delegate here, anything that you need to approve for actually gets rerouted to them. So I really would just use this for vacation. As we get used to the system, you might find what works best best for you. So that's actually how to assign a delegate. Now I wanted to just show you the help section real quick. So let's say,
Hey,
you know,
Adam,
you're
I had
just
a
going,
quick question, if I
yeah,
may.
sure.
Yeah, thank you. This is Dr. Ray Martinez, and I'm in Farmington. I travel a bunch, and I was wondering, we have an administrative assistant who I'd like to designate as a delegate. How about a research assistant? Um, she's also a student, though. So is the preference to then just have staff as a delegate?
No, that's totally up to you. So we do have you know, students that maybe have kind of a hybrid role or dual roles as a student and as a student employee or research assistant as well. They are loaded into Chrome River. So you can actually, just to give you an idea, I have a student employee that works for me. I can actually assign him as a delegate as well. So
Okay,
totally
thank you.
possible. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw her name on the list, so I thought, but I was wondering if this, student status would prohibit that or not be
No,
a good
we did.
idea.
Yeah, we did load them. We know how, how important of a role they play, even with just operations around campus. So, I'm gonna
Hi,
go.
Adam. I'm sorry to.
Adam,
Yeah,
there's a question from Eric also.
sure. Hi,
Yeah,
Dr.
yeah. Thank you. And I wrote this in the chat, but just wanted to ask: is another good example of a delegate someone with the pcard buying capabilities, like for your department, or the rep from a grant, like if you have an FRC grant for Germain to be under there to help you along through the process? Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So you could assign a delegate, based on your needs. So, FRC, I know we've gone round and round with that stuff, but that's a perfect example of saying, okay, well, I want somebody to act on my behalf for this specific grant, or to submit on my behalf for this specific grant or this specific project, right? There's times maybe I'm working somewhere and I may ask Max, hey, Max, I need to do this. And he says, well, take it out of my account. It kind of, it kind of factors for those different scenarios, but you can assign whoever you need to, and to work on as a delegate. One of the nice things is, as you assign a delegate, when they submit something, it still comes back to you to approve. So there's that audit standard in there, right? That I'm not going to go in on someone else's name, submit an expense, and it's going to bypass that person that's actually requesting it. So definitely possible.
I understand the need for, sorry to interrupt again. I understand the need for approval in general, but that does add an extra step in the process, especially like you said, if someone is out of town, you're not in touch, that kind of defeats that purpose, in my opinion.
Right. No, and I agree. And just keep in mind, the things we do a lot of times, we didn't really make the rules, right? There's audit standards to everything. So this exact scenario, we asked, hey, they're already assigned as a delegate, why can't we just submit on their behalf? And the actual consultant part of Chrome River that came back to us and said it's actually a bad practice. So those are some of the things that we weren't able to change within the system, to say, well, no, we trust that person to be our delegate, just let them approve. But as you get into the system, you'll see that it's quite easy to actually approve, and I'll show you the couple different ways that you can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the help section. So you click on your name, hit help. And if you said, okay, what was Adam talking about delegates? If you actually just type in delegate, it's a pretty robust, again, help section. So you can actually click on delegate. It's going to come up with the video of how to do it, as well as step-by-step instructions. So it's one of the better help sections that I've seen in some of these automated softwares that I've dealt with over the past 4 or 5 years. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to my dashboard. I always tell people, if you get into Chrome River and you're kind of like, where am I at? If you click on Chrome River, it always takes you back to the home screen. All right. One of the things I want to point your attention to is the menu button. So if we ever get on a Zoom call, or if I'm assisting you through email or on the phone, I call it the hamburger. So if I say, hey, just click on your hamburger, it's just the 3 lines over here, okay? This actually is just a dashboard of all the different things you can do. Now, these are different based on your profiles that we have set up for you in Chrome River. It could be probably a little bit more. Mine kind of has different features that I have as an administrator, but this is your dashboard, okay? as you start traveling, and I'm really trying to keep this in focus of being faculty, as you start traveling and uploading stuff, it loads into your profile here. So really the things to look at when you look at this menu is your e-wallet and e-receipts. Your e-wallet is kind of a combined, receipt and transaction storage area, right? So if I click on e-wallet, it's going to bring up this menu. Everything that sits in here, I'm going to click on on credit card. And these are actually all the transactions that I have sitting on my dashboard that need to be expensed, okay? So I tell people as a general rule of thumb, if you click on this and you do have a pcard, this needs to be reconciled. So this is your outstanding item that needs to be taken care of, okay? For those who are familiar with it, when we would send out, previous to the automated system, we would send out a statement with the pcard log, with the check request, asking you guys to reconcile, right? And it was a process. I didn't like doing it, but there was just kind of some audit standards that we needed to keep with. So now it's all done through Chrome River. You don't need to do the check request with the payee as Bank of America, with the pcard transaction log, with the statement attached. You'll actually just come in here, you'll click on e-wallet, you click on credit card, and you'll see your transaction that needs to be loaded. Again, this can be done by a delegate. They would come in for you. They would see, okay, Adam has a pcard transaction that needs to be reconciled. On their side, they may tell you, hey, please load your receipts, or please forward your receipts to receipt@ca1.chromeriver.com so that they can kind of gather stuff for you. I'm going to click on my receipt gallery. This receipt gallery, there's two different things. I'm going to go ahead and bring up my receipt. So this is some software that it's a subscription that I purchased, okay? This was set up as a PDF file as an attachment to me through my email. So somebody emailed me, said, hey, see attached. I got this email, I forwarded it to receipt@ca1.chromeriver.com, and it pulls up like this. So here's my receipt, okay? One of the other nice things that it does is, with Amazon especially, we have a university Amazon account where we kind of put in some rules into place, so you don't have to worrying about tax or worrying about unallowed vendors or unallowed goods. Sometimes you get confirmations with receipts embedded within the email. It works the same way. You can still forward to receipt@ca1.chromeriver.com, and it'll still show up as a file in this manner. So it's really nice, really easy to actually forward receipts. So that's a general overview of the dashboards and the main settings that we have for Chrome River. Okay, I do offer a training. Again, try to do it once a week to allow you guys just to come in. If you guys have working files that you're working on, I'm trying to, afford you guys the opportunity to ask questions, because I know it's not ideal to always look at how-to videos and 1 through 10 instructions. Hopefully if we ever return to campus and life gets back a little bit to normal, we will have open lab hours, as you can, I guess that's what you would call it. It's lab hours for people to come in. I'm gonna go ahead and pause for a minute there.
Eric has a question in the chat, and people, you can just open up your mics and ask questions.
Sure. Yeah, so Dr. Griffin, so I try to keep it consistent. Mine as is, everybody's schedule right now is just crazy these days. So I try to do it probably Wednesday or Thursday in the week, sometime in the afternoon. Generally the best time that we offer the session. I'll try to standardize the meetings a little bit, but right now it's just been real busy. So I know last week we sent the update and I didn't send the link to it, so that was an issue there. But I'll try to be a little more vigilant about getting that information out. But we don't have a standard date for it yet, but that's something we can take into consideration.
Is there any way you could potentially send a survey out to faculty who may be interested in attending frequently to look at a schedule? I know obviously you guys are busy, everyone's busy, but yeah, I already know that I teach Wednesday afternoon. So,
Okay.
but is there any way we could try to collectively come up with a good time?
Yeah, we can look at it now. What I've been doing, and this works well for a lot of people, is I've actually I'll set up one-on-one meetings as well. So I've told everyone my calendar's up to date. If you do see a free time in there, you can actually just go ahead and schedule it, and I can meet with you guys one-on-one as well. But we can look at something to see if we can get a consistent time.
Thank you.
All right. So is there any other questions that I can answer for anyone before I move forward?
I have a quick question, Adam, since Gloria said we can turn on our mics. This is Miriam. Would you just recommend that we go in and kind of noodle around and just take a look at stuff? You did say we can't break the system, right? So just sort of going in and just starting clicking buttons and getting to know. But that's safe, right? We're not going to do anything too dramatic to the system.
No, definitely that's fine. You can go in and just look at the system, kind of play around with it. One of the nice things about it is the reporting function of it. So, you know, if you're getting into a system and you're like, hey, Adam, you know, I need to know what travel I did within the last 3 weeks, I can run a report for you. You can run a report on your own as well, but I know it's a lot of information coming. So, you know, I'm kind of trying to take this in steps, trying to get used to the system, try to get everybody oriented to it. And then really at that point, we can start looking at some of the analytics and reports. But yeah, definitely go in and just take it for a spin.
Hey, Adam, thank you. This is Ray Martinez. I have a question as well.
Sure.
I could see this is going to be really useful. And I'm wondering, you know, typically when we do travel, we do I do a monthly blanket travel. And then if I'm going to anticipate anything beyond that, I'll fill out the per diem form and all that other stuff. And then the voucher when I finish at the end of the month. So are you saying the Chrome River has all of those items already installed?
It does, yeah. So so here's where we're trying to work through. Okay, so we do really want to get away from blanket travels that are probably longer than a month. So there was time before where we do blanket travels for like 6 months at a time, right? We do want to dial that down a little bit because one, for reporting purposes, to be able to just really identify, hey, what kind of travel are we doing? How much does it cost? How much does it cost? And really have better data on it. But definitely, yeah, you can do blanket travel. One of the nice things about this, and I'll share this from experience as a end user at a different organization. I was at the federal courts before, and we had a paper process. So it was always fun with the paper process because it was like, you know, you'd submit it and then you'd start the phone calls, right? Hey, where's it at? Hey, can you sign it? Well, I'll be at my desk tomorrow. I'll sign it then. And even if you're trying to rush something, it'd still take a day. It'd still take 2 days. It'd still take 5 hours. With this system, and you can push it through digitally, right? It's faster. When we switched over to a new system at the courts, now it's a matter of, okay, I've submitted it, and then you start, you know, you might call somebody and say, hey boss, just letting you know I submitted my travel and we really need to go tomorrow. Can you get that approved? Okay. So it's a lot faster. There's times where we can probably push something through within 5 minutes. Okay. So it's a pretty quick system. Obviously it moves faster digitally than it would if it was going office to office through inter-office mail. So we can get stuff moved through quicker. But that being said, you can do your blanket travels. But you'll see, and I don't know if you're a fund holder, Dr. Martinez, but you'll start seeing as you get into it that you really can dial down and say, well, you know what, I want to do a travel request for Tuesday the 20th, let's say Tuesday the 21st, to go attend a meeting with the governor. I don't know, something like that. And you can actually dial down some of the reports and really get into the details, which is also better for your budget, right? You want to be able to know how much money you're expending on each trip and not tie up so much money on blanket travels, perhaps. So both options are available though.
Thank you.
Sure. Real quick, I want to show you all just the tracking feature of Chrome River. So I do have reports in here that I've already created. And I'm going to go ahead and just show you something that I really like about it, because you know, one of the benefits of my site is, as we've gone into the system, is we all know how it goes, right? Hey, has anyone seen this travel request? Has anyone seen this check request? Has anyone seen this voucher? And then it says, well, I think it's with Max. Well, I think it's with Crystal. Well, I actually think it's with the fund holder. So this is really nice, because I'm going to go ahead and click in on one of my reports. And I'm going to look at an expired report. So here's a travel that I did. Click on it. And this actually gives you your header level of your report. Okay, it kind of shows what's going on, you know, what you're doing, what dates, business purpose for it. You can open it to view more. There's also a version where you can actually view a full PDF report of it. So if you needed to print something out or send it to somebody, you're not quite sure how, you can actually print out a PDF at any point in the process, not just when it's submitted, okay, or when it's fully approved. But the feature I really like with Chrome River is the tracking feature. So again, I was kind of quite sure where I was at, so I just went back home to the Chrome River button. This tracking feature is nice because it shows the steps that you go through, okay? So the first step, it does a budget check for you. So one of the big things with the expense and pre-approval modules, you do need to have budget, right? So it checks your budget for you to make sure that there's available budget. If there's not available budget, we either need to do a bar to move stuff around, right? So you may need to move stuff from your G&A budget over to your travel budget. So it checks budget. The next thing it does is, and we reassigned a couple of these for testing, but what it does next is it routes to your direct supervisor, okay? So the process, and this is with travel, it goes from the owner to the direct supervisor to the fund holder. So this allocation organization approver is basically the organization approver. So in your FOP string, your fund org account program, whoever's in charge of the org, it'll get routed to, okay? One of the things is if the direct supervisor and the fund holder are the same person, you only have to approve once. So once you approve once, it's going to route it for both those approvals. From there, it actually goes to AP. AP will view it. They'll say either yes, it's good. They may return it back to you and say, hey, I need you guys to fill out this or add this information. Goes to AP. Next stop, it checks budget one more time, and then it's actually encumbered within the system. So what's nice about this, and you guys will see this, especially if you're a grant holder, is that we can actually encumber and expense these funds pretty quickly now. I don't know if anyone else with pcard, sometimes it takes 30 to 45 days to an expense a pcard or a transaction to your account. This is real time now. So you can actually see this expense sitting in your detail if you go into like self-service banner to look at your budget. One of the other nice things that it does do is it actually creates an expense number for you. Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question? So as a department chair, if someone starts the process, how will I be notified that I need to go in and approve it?
Perfect. I will go through that.
Okay.
And actually that's a good segue to show you a different way of approving if you do not want to go into the portal all the time or don't have access to. So this will actually show the expense report number, which is really nice. We always tell you guys, hey, do not book travel until a travel has been approved, right? And I can see where that could be misconstrued. To me, if I talk to my boss, Max, and I said, Max, can I go to California? And he says yes, to me, that's approved, right? To auditing standards and policy, it's not approved, right? Approved is when you see an encumbrance in banner that gets approved by AP, okay? But it actually does show the report number for you here. I'm gonna bring up the last thing because I know it's a lot of information to take in and I could probably talk for like 3 hours on this, but I'm gonna show you guys how to approve via email as well. So the dashboard is really, if you wanna go in, see the report, see the receipts, see the tracking, you wanna really dive into the details. If it's something that, hey, someone needs to go Santa Fe and back, it's going to be, you know, 120 miles and you know, per diem. That's something you can look at on your phone and say, yeah, go ahead and do it, right? So I'm going to go to the help section again. I'm going to just type in email approval. And a really nice feature with Chrome River is that you can actually approve from your phone. So if somebody sent, if you're an approver, you actually get an email that looks like this. So it's from expense-no reply at Chrome. I don't know if it says chromefile.com, but this is what it looks like. Okay. We have whitelisted the email address, so it shouldn't go to your junk. However, if you know approval is going to come in or something, you might want to check it, but we have whitelisted it with IT, so we should be receiving those to your inbox. But this is what it looks like. There's an email with a heading. It shows who it's for, the name of the report, the day that it was submitted, the dates of travel, how much they're requesting, and then it actually shows an expense summary of just the amounts and the FOP that it's going to be assigned to. From here, you can return it, which is basically rejecting it, right? Or you can accept it. When you accept the pre-approval, it'll open a it will open an email within your phone, or if you're doing it from your desktop, it'll open an email for you, and all you have to do is hit send. So you'll get this message, you'll hit accept, it'll open an email for you, and I don't know if it shows it here. I wish it would show it there so I could show you guys, but it opens up as an email, and you just hit send, it loads to your profile, and you've accepted. So you don't need to log into Chrome River, you don't need to go to the dashboard. You can actually get the email. It'll look like this.
Adam, if I want to make sure they did submit the receipts and stuff, I would need to go in through my Chrome River and click on their name.
To make sure if you're no, the report will show it. So
Okay.
if you're approving, you would actually come in here, you would actually come into the report you're approving, and that's where that PDF function as well. You can try to search for it through here, which is still pretty easy, but you can just pull this PDF and do full report with receipts and view it. Now, keep in mind, if you download the Chrome River app, all this functionality is in there, right? Chrome River really took the mindset of developing a mobile first approach, right? So something that you can do everything from your phone. So you can actually, if you download the Chrome River app, it's still your single sign-on that you would do through your MyPortal or for your banner username and ID. And you can still go into your app and view these reports, approve, return them, or view the entire report. So there are different access points for, for us to work, which is always fun. So get a hold of you at all costs, right? One of the things that to talk to this, because I know a lot of the concern has been is like, hey, the process is clunky. There's a lot of inefficiencies. We're trying to correct those, right? I tell people this is version 1. There's going to things we're going to see in 4 and 5 that we're going to be able to improve upon every time. One of the things, just to give you an idea, is with expenses, non-travel related. They used to go from, they'd go all over the place, right? They'd go from end user to chair to maybe a VP, and then it would go to compliance, and then it would make its way to us, right? So there's like 4 or 5 steps. One of the things we did with Chrome River now is we cut out compliance on the front end. We do a lot of the compliance for whoever's a fund holder on the back end, which is really nice because now it's not going to them to route every single time. They're doing stuff on the back end that still maintains our compliance, but doesn't have to go through the daily approval. So that's one less desk or one less approval stop. And, we'll continue to work with it as we go. The same thing with pcards. Pcard, we're in year 2. We're about 20 years behind on pcards as an institution. So we're making our way and getting better at making processes easier for you all. I'm going to go ahead and answer a question.
Yeah, Jerry has a question.
I didn't want to interrupt him, Gloria. He was on a roll.
Always, I'm a talker. All right. I am so glad you mentioned that, Jerry. So one of the things one of the things that we're trying to do, and this will be going over to faculty senate, staff senate, you know, go through its whole deal with shared governance, but we're really trying to improve those processes. So if you notice, and I don't have time today to go through it, but as you notice when you start going through your estimate, it doesn't ask for the three quotes anymore. We're gonna say, hey, just pick your best obtainable price. We're gonna look at it and say, well, why is Dr. Glover taking first class with champagne? You know, now we might say, no, you know, get us a different quote. But we are trying to ease some of those burdens. One of the other things is after the fact travel. If we can get it processed the day before for in-state travel, we'll approve it. We're not gonna hold to that 3-day rule anymore. Out-of-state travel, we're gonna hold to a 3-day rule versus a 10-day rule. There's different things that are in there that we're really trying to improve the processes. We didn't try to get the, you know, old system and just shove it into the new system. We really took, you know, Chrome River especially, we took them on as consultants too and said, hey, when something's, you know, needs fixing, can you tell us? Or when something needs improving, please let us know. And those are some of the things. So I'm hoping, you know, keep your fingers crossed that I can get this for either, you know, the next board meeting or the one shortly after. But those are some of the processes that will improve. And I'll send out a global letting kind of a line item saying, hey, this is what we did with regards to travel policy.
Adam,
Yes.
I'm so pleased to see this because, as you know, I've been many times having been involved with our department, but also as the faculty athletic rep, there are things that were coming out of their budget. So there was literally 2 budgets, 2 different supervisors, 2 approvals, and I didn't need to go work out in the evenings because when I needed something signed, I had to go 4 or 5 places, even on the day, and not know 2 days or 3 days. And especially, I once had $17 that was due back to me, and I said, forget it, don't worry about it. It was nothing. But I had to then go and reprocess everything for the $17. So I just want to say this is going to be great. I won't understand it yet. I'll sit down and probably come and sit with you for 20 minutes and get it all set. But I think this was a very, very needed new program. And so I'm 100% behind it because I think we were a little backward here in the manner in which we treated whether it was faculty or those representing us. And I really felt that there were occasions when we were like the bad guys trying to do a great job. And if we were a few dollars out, you know, I know that wasn't your call. It was just a matter of the process. So I'm really happy to see this. Very needed and a lot of time saved so we could be doing, as I said, some of the other areas. So
Right.
good job.
No, I totally agree with you, and I appreciate that. And I'm not gonna lie, I did this a little bit out of selfish reason. So I don't oversee travel. It's not my department. It kind of ended up in my policy, but one of the things is I want to streamline those daily expenses that turn into headaches, right? And if we can start there, you know, it's still going to be muddy. I tell everybody new processes always are, but we'll get to the point where it's strumming along. And then hopefully, you know, as we get good with this, I can actually integrate the purchase order module in there too. And you know, and hopefully get everything to where it's a one-stop shop to say, hey, if you need to do anything business related, go to Chrome River, which is really nice. Real quick, I did enter a link into the chat session. That's actually it's a recorded session where we went into pre-approval, which is your travel request and your purchase card pre-approval. So if you guys want, click on that and save it, and you guys can view. I'll try to get it as a global and, you know, just with some information so you guys can see it as well. But I know we always get, you know, a bunch of globals and it's hard to kind of sift through those sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe, I don't know if Dr. Gadsden, if you want to take maybe one more question, but I know I want to respect your guys' time.
Does anyone have any other questions? Ian has one in the chat box.
Oh yeah, Ian. Yeah, I have a quote, and somebody told me that your budget would pay for it. I'm working on it. Yes, it's definitely a high priority of mine. I get just as frustrated as everybody else when it's a paper process. So you know, it's something I want to get integrated into Chrome River as well.
Okay, so it would be through Chrome River. Cool. I did laugh on mute, but I was muted. But I'm glad to know it's on Chrome River as well. Okay.
Yeah, we definitely want to get there. I've actually been bugging them because it was a newer module to them, and I said, hey, you know, I will take the chance and be a test dummy if I need, but and really all we need is an approval routing, right? We don't need these super sophisticated features. We just need, you know, we want to be able to submit something electronically, view where it's at, pull it up electronically, and email it to somebody when we're done. So I get that.
And do you think a pcard is the best way to handle kind of like small administrative supply expenses for PIs as well?
Definitely,
Okay.
Ian. Again, the P card is generally your G&A purchases. So when I say G&A, it's all those accounts, 7151, 7115, 7154. That's your supplies, small equipment, freight charges, postage, advertising, those sort of things.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Adam.
I know we got started a little late, but I actually have a 2 o'clock. So if there are no other questions, Adam, could you just put your contact information in the chat box for us?
Definitely. And if you guys can, if you get a chance, try to just log in today. So I think the biggest step really is getting there. And once you get in there, you know, I've literally been able to send people emails saying, hey, can you log into Chrome River and approve the report? And they're able to. So, but definitely reach out. Again, I'm available for one-on-one meetings as well. I'm more than happy to meet with you all one-on-one.
Thank you so much, Adam. This is really helpful. Yeah,
Thank you
Miriam's
all.
right.
Adam.
All
Big
right.
leap
You all have a
forward.
good
Thank
day.
you.
Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks.